Oh. Okay. Feels so good, and I'm so ready for some upper body mobility. That's what we're here for today. Hi. Welcome to SIC Maui Talk Stories. I'm Seychelle, and we're going to be doing some upper body mobility moves and stretches today together. If you're able to join me, that's wonderful. Grab a mat, grab a foam roller if you have it, or some blocks if you have them. If you don't, like just a bolster like pillow or a big towel rolled up would work too. And if you want to save this video to follow along at a later stage, that's great as well. This will be about 20 minutes of just all like upper body, a lot of shoulder stuff, a lot of things that we get into with paddlers. And of course, I will try to keep an eye on the comments, so you can just, let me know that you're here. Let me know if you have questions. Let's make this interactive and fun. So yeah. Oh, and one more thing that you might need if you're following along is just be near a doorway. And I know I'm outside, I'm not near a doorway, so I guess I'm gonna use a tree. You could use a tree as well, but it's typically these stretches are done on a doorway. So yeah, we're gonna start lying down on your back and knees bent, and just do a couple nice deep breaths. And you're going to just feel the rib cage and the pelvis lift off the mat and then back down, pressing the whole back flat onto the mat, and then sort of arching the back, lifting up, taking some breaths, and just really focusing on that pressing down, grounding down into the mat on the exhale. And reach your arms down by your sides. We're going to inhale, and you're going to find a neutral spine. So you're not going to be in that arch position, but you're also not going to be pressing the back flat. It's going to be right in between those two. And when you find that right in between, you're going to reach the arms up overhead and try to keep the rib cage in that position. So notice if as you reach the arms up overhead, if the rib cage starts to flare and the back wants to arch and come up, you're going to try to keep that neutral position with the rib cage drawing down. As you reach the arms overhead, thumbs down. Just take a nice big reach, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the sides of the body. Couple deep breaths here. We're going to drag the thumbs down along, trying to keep the thumbs down, keep the rib cage down, and we're going to reach up overhead. We're going to drag the thumbs. So this is going to automatically, naturally, externally rotate in your shoulder. Just doing some nice reach up, thumb down. You can do both sides. I'm just demoing the external rotation. Let's do a couple more. In the shoulders. Nice soft relax in the elbows and the wrists. And now we're going to reach up and over, and you're just going to place the back of the hand flat down onto the ground. And you're going to pull the elbows down. And you're going to try to, as you draw the elbows down towards the hips, keep the backs of the hands pressing down, or keep the backs of the hands sliding along the floor. And just go as far as you can with the backs of the hands down. You'll notice even more of an external rotation in the shoulders. We're going to reach back up, keep the rib cage down as you reach up, keep the back of the hands down as you reach the elbows down. So inhale, reach up, exhale, draw down. We're going to keep sliding doing these floor slides. Reach, see if you can. You don't need to reach so that your hands are touching. The hands can stay a comfortable shoulder width apart. But you want to also make sure that when you reach up, the shoulder isn't jacking up towards the ear. As you reach up, the shoulders stay drawing down away from the ears. So a couple more slides here. Cool. So now you're going to take one leg over, one knee over. So one leg goes straight, the other knee goes over. And we're going to circle the same knee that's bent and over, up overhead, and you're going to draw that shoulder blade down, and you're going to try and drag your thumb along the ground. If it feels good, that opposite hand can come and help that knee down, and we're going to make a few really big circles here. So this is for thoracic mobility, rotational mobility. This is really big for paddlers. This is a nice gentle way to do that. If you cannot drag your thumb along the ground, you know you might need to work on your thoracic mobility. If you have a block, a bolster, a whatever, and you want a little bit of extra underneath that opposite knee, that'll help reduce a little bit of the twist and make it a little bit easier for you. So after you've done maybe 8 on this side, dragging the thumb, let's go ahead and bend both knees. Now the knees are together, the elbows are together, and we're going to just bring one elbow across and open as you take a deep inhale, and then we're going to bring those elbows together and close as you exhale. And inhale, open. You're trying to draw the elbow and the back of the hand down, and exhale, close, and move with your breath. And the breath is really important because you want to think about lengthening and expanding, lengthening through the torso, expanding through the rib cage. Because as you expand and as you create more space with your breath in your torso, in your rib cage, that's what's going to help open you up and actually find more range of motion in this thoracic rotational mobility move. So a couple more. And it's okay. If you're like here, the other thing you can do is, something in between the knees. But that might be your range of motion, and you just know you need to breathe, and that's something that you're going to work on a little bit. So we're going to bring both knees back to center. We're going to straighten the other leg. We're just going to do the other side. So coming up and across, excuse me, and making those big arm circles, thumb down. Dragging your thumb, drawing the shoulder blade, naturally opening as you make that nice big slow gentle circle. Nice deep breath. One more. And we're going to bring the knees together. And again, if you need some extra something underneath one or both knees, that's fine too. Elbows together. And we're going to open. You want to look towards the elbow that's opening. That'll help too. Exhale to close. Nice deep breaths. Opening up space in the rib cage, in the diaphragm, in the torso, lengthening. And maybe every time you take a deep breath, or maybe every time you go back and forth, you're able to find a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. But don't force it. Gentle. As deep as you can open with each breath is how deep you want to go. It's not forcing the movement here. A couple more. Cool. So we're going to go back onto our back. And knees are still bent. And we're going to do a couple more of those floor angels, but we're going to add to it. So reach arms up overhead, shoulders down, backs of the hands down, elbows down. You're going to draw the elbows down. You're going to stop at 90 degrees. You're going to rotate internally so the palms go face down. And then you're going to try to slide the palms up underneath you. And then come back out, up, reach overhead, rib cage stays down, nice long reach, exhale. Halfway, palms down. So that's an opposite rotation for the shoulders. Then you're going to try to slide your hands, and you can push your back up a little bit here too, so that you can, if you're able to, slide your hands up underneath your body. 90, 90, and exhale up. And inhale down, up underneath you. 90, 90. Exhale up, and that exhale is going to help you pull the rib cage down as you reach the arms up overhead. 90, 90. And here, as you slide the hands underneath you, if you're able to, can you lift the elbows up? That's pretty big rotation for the internal rotation for the shoulders. Let's do 2 more of these. Reach up. Try not to let the shoulders come up towards the ears. Actually, don't let the shoulders come up towards the ears. Last one. Everything all goes up. Cool. Alright. So now, let's roll on to cat and cow position. That's hands and knees for cat and cow. So, shoulders underneath your, hands underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingertips out wide. And let's just do a few cat-cow. So you're going to arch this back. You're going to push the tailbone up. Let the belly button drop down. You're going to let the chest drop down. You're going to pull the back of the head up. You're going to look up. You're going to arch. You're going to drop the chin all the way to the chest. And then you're going to press the floor away from you. Pull the belly in and up. Curl the tailbone under. And then start from the tailbone, the mid-back, the upper back, the shoulders, and then pull the back of the head up. Let the chin drop down. So we're really trying to work from one vertebrae at a time. Through the neck, through the upper back, through the middle of the back, all the way down to the low back and the tailbone. And then opposite tailbone, low back, middle back, drop the belly, drop the chest, upper back, and neck. Let's do 2 more. So we're going to come into a puppy dog pose. So you're going to stay right here on hands and knees. And you're going to keep the hips right above the knees as you walk the hands out away from you. And the chest comes down towards the ground. So again, if you're really tight in the chest and the shoulders, having that block, that roller, that pillow underneath your chest, could feel good. It could feel good underneath your forehead. So you're just up a little higher. If you're able to, just walk to where you're comfortable. Keep pressing the hips up and back. Pressing the tailbone up and back. You can rest the forehead down on something, whether it's the ground, whether it's a block, whether it's a towel, whether it's a pillow. Rest the forehead down on something. And keep dropping every time you exhale the chest a little bit closer to the ground. If you're super flexible and now you feel like your nose is kind of getting in the way, go ahead and let the chin come down towards the ground and look forward. But most people are not this open. Most paddlers, in my experience, are not open enough to get the chin down. And again, this is to where you're comfortable and you're still breathing nice and deeply, and you're using the breath to open you up, opening the chest, letting the chest sink down. One more nice deep breath in, long breath out. So good. Okay, walk the hands slowly and gently back underneath you. Stop when they are about 6 inches further forward than they would be for your cat-cow. So they're forward of the shoulder blades. We're going to curl the toes under, press the hips back, and press up into a downward facing dog. So feet are hip to shoulder width apart, and I have a nice bend in my knees so that I can maintain that same chest dropping towards the ground that I was just trying to make happen in my puppy dog pose. That same thing's happening here, that I'm lengthening the tailbone up and away from me, and I'm letting the chest fall down. And once I'm here, now I'm going to try to pedal the feet one at a time. But again, we're working on the upper body today, so if your legs and the backs of the legs don't go straight and you keep a bend in your knees, that's okay. I'd rather you focus on this nice opening in the chest and the shoulders. Let the neck relax. Maybe you want to gently shake the head from side to side so that that's all relaxed. Maybe you want to think about that external rotation. So think about the elbows drawing down towards the ground and creating more space in between the neck, the upper top, the shoulders, as the shoulders pull down and away from the ears. So from here, let's go ahead and bend the knees, walk the feet tippy toe towards the hands, and we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. 2, standing. I'm going to need to adjust my camera. Cool. I'm going to take a moment to check if there's any comments or questions. No. Awesome. Is that high enough? Alright, so from here, this is where you're going to go to your doorway. And we're going to do a tricep stretch. So you're going to bring one elbow up. The back of the hand goes to the back of the shoulder blade. Little baby lunge here. Elbow goes into the doorway. And you're going to gently press the elbow up. And as the elbow goes up, the hand slides down the back a little bit. And just gently lean in and breathe. You guys can see that. I'm going to go a little lower so you can make sure that I'm in the frame. About 5 deep breaths. You're going to gently come up. And now you're just going to grab the side of that doorway. I'm not even in the frame. Sorry about that, guys. Now you're just going to grab the side of that doorway. And you're going to press that same side hip back and out so that we're stretching now the lat all along that side from hip all the way up into the armpit, all the way down through the tricep still, all the way down to the wrist. We're getting a nice stretch primarily in the lat. Oh, so good. About 5 deep breaths. Cool. Slowly come up. Let's do the other side. So, hand behind the back, elbow gently goes up into the doorway. I'm going to take a little bit of a lunge stance with my elbow to the doorway side, leg forward, and I'm just going to lean into that. Let the hand gently slide down the back. Let the elbow gently come back behind the ear, behind the shoulder. The shoulder and neck are relaxed. Jaw and face are relaxed. Nice deep breath. Slowly come up, grabbing the hand around the edge of the doorway, leaning that same side hip back and out, so I feel a nice stretch along the lat on that side, along that whole side of the body, maybe along that whole side of the arm. Maybe it feels good to even relax the head and neck down, look underneath that arm. Breathe, lengthen, open, soften. And transition back down onto the mat and definitely grab your foam roller, your blocks, your bolster, whatever it is that you have. What we are going to do now is place that between and behind your shoulder blades, and you're going to lay down on top of it. So I'm going to show with my foam roller, and I'm going to lay down with my foam roller so that my back of my head is supported and the foam roller is between my shoulder blades. You can keep the knees bent, you can let them out straight, you can have them out wide, whatever feels comfortable for you, but this is really actually about the chest. So as you're laying over top of a bolster, a rolled up towel, the blocks, roller, whatever it is, think about the chest and the shoulders really being heavy and opening up, so you should feel a nice stretch along the pecs and the elbows. The palms are face up, the elbows are down. This is relaxed. You can be down here, you can be in the middle. The higher you go, the more you'll feel the stretch in the pecs, but I don't want you to go up to where your elbows are coming up off the ground. Stay where the elbows are staying nice and comfortably down on the ground, where the shoulders are staying nice and comfortably down and relaxed. Again, the face relaxed, the jaw relaxed, the neck relaxed. Deep breath and just let gravity do the work here. Just let gravity open across the whole front of your chest. Nice, slow, soft breath. You can stay here as long as you like. You can stay here for up to 10 minutes. This should be really, really comfortable and relaxing. This is a great counter pose for paddlers. When you are ready to come up, you're going to just go onto one side, and you can either stay on one side for a few minutes, but you're definitely going to want to use your hands to push you back up nice and slowly. You can even move your prop and just lay back flat down on the ground for a few minutes after you finish too. So that's what I got for you today. I hope that this was a most enjoyable upper body mobility session for you. I am keen, as always, to hear your comments, questions, feedback. Reach out to me about anything, doesn't have to be mobility, at Seychelles SUP on Facebook and Instagram. Seychelles SUP, and let's see, what else do I have coming up? Another Talk Stories on the Women of Water Sports page. Another nice grounding, relaxing session for the women. If you're not on the SIC Maui Women of Water Sports page, you'll want to join that group page. And yeah, if also I have some exciting things coming up in the Seychelles SUP world. So if you're not on my mailing list, you might want to jump on there. So my website is SeychellesSUP.com. Mailing list is on the footer of the page, and join that, and you'll get notified from some upcoming technical, spoiler alert, technical tips that I have coming up, a video series. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And you are so welcome, Carrie. You are so welcome, Nicolas. Bye, everybody. Oh, and thanks, SIC, for having us here and for hosting.